right, guys, we're back. We were literally just here last night, but we had to talk about two subjects. We had to talk about two people because I didn't even know that James Charles was back until I saw Adam McIntyre's video last night. I was about to go to bed and I was like, Adam McIntyre, let me watch him, and James Charles. And I was like, why? And I'm like, I'm supposed to be talking about Gabbie Hanna today. So I didn't want to put them together. I didn't want to put a James Charles and Gabbie Hanna video together. So I had to do an emergency Men in the Media video last night. So today we are going to be talking about Gabbie Hanna, and we're going to be talking about the Joey Graceffa and Daniel Preda situation. Because there's just too much. There's just too much stuff. And so, yeah, we're going to get into all of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch Joey's video. We're going to watch Joey Graceffa's video. Because his video is only 16 minutes. And then as we're watching the video, I'm going to go over the points that Daniel brought up in his 1 hour video. And I'm also going to bring out the points that Gabbie brought up in her video. And I'm going to talk about how I initially felt, because before everything, I watched Gabbie's video first. I did, because that's what came out first. So I watched Gabbie's video first, and I'm going to tell you the feelings that I was feeling, because yeah. And then we're going to get into the debunking of the two men that were like, yeah, sorry, you're a liar. And it's just really funny because it's like, why? Like, it's so funny because she's been doing these like little, like, I'm exposing y'all. I'm exposing all of these YouTubers. But then the YouTubers are like, dude, you misremembered that. Sorry. They're like, dude, that's not what happened. You're misremembering. Or people are like, you're just making things up. And we're literally able to debunk you with all the text and like videos that we have, or like the amount that so many witnesses that are like, dude, you were literally horrible. So yes. Before we get started, I'll wait. Go get your tea. Go get your coffee. Okay? That's very important. And two, we have our super chats on. And last night we got 2 super chats from Artist Journey. So I want to say thank you again. That was literally just so amazing. I put my reaction on my TikTok. What is my TikTok? So y'all can follow me. My TikTok is Leah AA. So LAYAHAA. That's my TikTok. Yes. So we have super chats on. And then link in the description. I mean, merch link in the description, I think. I hope I put that in there. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. All right. I'm going to find his video. All right. Let's just get started. Oh, it's just embarrassing. It's like you have to be embarrassed at some point. Because, like, it's not just one person being like, oh, we're debunking her. It's every single person that she's talked about. I think except Trisha Paytas, because we've talked about Trisha. Trisha's a whole problem in herself, so I really don't care. But like everyone else is like, dude, stop talking about us. You're obsessed. You're obsessed. So okay, let me bring it up. So yeah, this video came out June 28th, 2021. It has almost 300,000 likes and 3.2K dislikes, which I'm pretty sure that's just from her, what is it called? Gabbie Hanna fans. Let me switch accounts so we don't get any ads. Alrighty, for real. I can just see the stress. Let's go back so y'all can see that. He's just really over it.
Alrighty, well, let's just get into this, shall we? So this video is a response to Gabbie Hanna's video, Escape the Nightmare. And I just want to give you guys a spoiler alert. Gabbie was actually the nightmare, so...
we believe it. That's the thing. That's what makes it so sad. It's like, we can't even, like, we can't even be like, Hold on a second. I just noticed oof. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, now I'm ready. Okay, so we can't even be like, okay, Gabbie, like, we'll give you a chance. Like, maybe you were a great time during Escape the Night. Like, no, we know. Like, we have, like, evidence. Like, you know, like, background. Let's keep going.
Points that she made in her video that are just completely false, and give you guys the receipts to back that up. But before we get into those points, I do want to let you guys know that Gabbie and I were close friends. So when she acts like the victim and is wondering why all these people in her life who claim to be her friends are no longer her friends, you do things, Gabbie.
Like, who is the common denominator? Like, if you, okay. So sometimes I just noticed that this light isn't on. That's why it's so dark. Hold on a second, guys. My main light. Okay, like, there we go. I don't know if you noticed the difference. Okay, anyways. It's like you have to, at some point when there's a problem and you see that your friends are leaving you, or if you see that there's some people that don't want to hang out with you anymore, or if it's like your friend group is smaller, all these things, you have to be like, okay, you can't keep blaming it on other people. There has to be a point where like, okay, maybe I'm the problem. Like maybe I'm the one that, you know, what I'm trying to say, maybe I'm the problem. Like, I need to look inward and see what's wrong, maybe go to therapy, maybe start caring about other people other than myself, because that's a lot of problems. Like, even when, the thing is, I learned it early, which I still don't understand how it takes them so long to learn that there's other people on this earth. And like, I didn't learn that until maybe like end of college. End of high school, beginning of college, where I'm like, okay, I'm losing friends, but I'm not maintaining my friendships or gaining a stronger connection with my friendships because I'm expecting them to do all the work when it should be, you know, a back and forth. So you learn that and you have to look inward. Stop blaming other people for like these kind of situations. You know what I mean? If you look inward and you're like, oh, I'm not putting as much effort into that friendship, it's me. You know? It's just
to make people not be your friend.
Exactly.
What you did to me on Escape the Night is the reason we are no longer friends, and the reason why I talked badly about you being on Escape the Night. Just because we were friends before that doesn't contractually make me obligated to never say anything bad about you or never not be your friend because we were friends in the past. You did this. You ended our friendship, not me. The way that you acted on set of Escape the Night is why we are no longer friends. And if you want an example of what a friend is like on set of a production of your friend, take some advice from Colleen, who literally gave birth months before, showed up on set, was breastfeeding, went home after hours on set to her baby waking up and then having to be a mom and then coming to set the next day. And
so Daniel also brought up Colleen and how like pretty much everyone on that set was very grateful to be there, and how Colleen literally, she could have just been like, hey, I can't do it. I just gave birth. I'm having to breastfeed. I'm having to do all these things. It's really hard for me right now. So I'm not going to do it. But no, Colleen toughed it out. Like everyone has their own problems. And Gabbie tried to excuse her behavior with like anxiety. Like she tried to be like, oh, I was anxious. I didn't get the right foods, which we will get into the food situation because Daniel Preda does a lot better with explaining the food situation and why is she complaining about some type of food. But yeah, what I'm trying to say. Colleen Ballinger, which you know her as Miranda Sings, she was there. Like, you have to understand a set isn't about you. It's not a YouTube situation where for YouTube, I can show up at any time. I can do like my own dress fittings or whatever, or I set up my own lights and cameras. And once I get here, we start filming. But like let's say when I'm doing when I'm doing like DNA, or if I have a special guest on my podcast, it is a lot of hurry up and wait, as Daniel says in his video. You have to make sure that that it's ready. Like we have to make sure that the cameras and lights are ready, but it's a lot of hurry up and wait. But if you start complaining and being like, oh, you were here late, or why is it taking so long for the camera to be set up, or what's going on? That's a part of production. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not about you. You're not, like, it's about the talent. It's about the fans. It's about the viewers. It's not about you. So we have to get every single light and camera perfect. So for you to complain about the whole waiting situation, that makes me so mad about that once we get into it. Her to complain about the food, about the waiting, and about just how she acted on set. Those are the big three. She shouldn't have been there, and they're too nice. They are way too nice, is all I have to say. Let's go.
Doing it all over again. And the crazy thing is, Colleen was my #1 support system. Being on set of a production that's millions of dollars and having all this pressure is a lot. But Colleen didn't complain once, and she was my #1 supporter, making me feel good about things and helping me de-stress and telling me that everything was going to be okay. Meanwhile, you, who's also my friend, is making life on set a living hell by being disrespectful and rude and
disrespectful,
mean and foul to not only cast but crew.
Crew
at the director.
I dare you to mess with the crew. As you know, I'm a film student, so when it comes to messing with the crew, like, okay, yeah, mess with the talent. Don't mess with the talent. Don't mess with anyone. But when you mess with the people that are making it happen, because like I feel like sometimes, because I know a lot of people know more actors than directors and stuff like that. I mean, so do I, right? And so sometimes actors or talent get into their head where they're like, oh, I think I'm better than everyone else. But I'm like, the crew is what's making it happen. Do you understand that? Because once we walk off set, okay, you go ahead and set up lights and camera. You go ahead and make it happen. Go ahead and dress yourself. Do your own makeup. Go ahead. Like, don't mess with crew. That's just rude. Like, if you think that crew is beneath you, that's when it gets to me. Like, absolutely not. Absolutely
Director demanding things and calling a production assistant a dumb cunt is not how you act on set.
They're too nice. So let's talk about that. So Daniel Preda, should I come in and out? Okay. So Daniel Preda talked about that situation just now with the production assistant. So what had happened was, it was on the poster shoot. So they needed to shoot the posters, the promo photos, the promo video. That is what it was. So this was towards the end of filming, because they did all their promo stuff last. So Gabbie, not being patient, can't hurry up and wait. That is like a saying I've always heard. You hurry up and wait on sets. And so apparently, yeah, Gabbie's like fully dressed, fully ready to go do her shoot or to do her like confessional videos. And a production assistant comes in and she's like, hey, we're actually running a little bit behind. So I know that your time was right now, but I need you just to wait just 20 minutes. And then we'll bring you in to do your photos and to do your confessionals. And she literally, and as the production assistant walks away, she calls her a dumb C word. And in front of so many witnesses, in front of everyone, because it was in the women's room, but also Daniel was in that room. And I just feel like sometimes people are just too nice. Because crew, as I've said earlier, crew holds a special place in my heart. And I would have been like, get up. I would have been like, stand, you're done. I don't care. We can break the contract. I don't care. Get up. You're done. Or like, if we don't want to break the contract, we're gonna take a picture of you in this chair and call it a day. You don't get to do confessionals. You're done. You're not gonna disrespect crew. That's not gonna happen. No. So Absolutely not. And then of course, that's the thing, like with talent or people that are richer, that people that have money, the production assistant, she probably was mad and wanted to say something, but since she's on a job and she's a production assistant, which is the smallest job on a production, she's like, I can't lose this. Like, this is an opportunity. So she just walks away and she's the bigger person. And that's exactly what I would have done. If I was a production assistant there, I would have just walked away and been the bigger person because this is a big opportunity. Like, as Daniel says, you need to watch Daniel's video. It's a whole hour. And he talks about, like, they were working with YouTube. Like, it wasn't just like how, Kian and JC did their little, like, videos and stuff. They did their little, like, what's it called? Like little game shows and stuff. Like, this was them working with a big corporation. This was a YouTube original. So you should have been grateful to be on a show like that. And so was that production assistant. So of course she's going to be the bigger person. But if I was like Colleen, or if I was Joey, or if I was Daniel, the person who has money and the person that has, what is it called, given you this job, I would have been like, absolutely not. You need to go say sorry. You need to figure it out. It would have been a conversation right then and there. And I'm just disappointed. I am a little disappointed in the witnesses there that didn't stick up for her. Like, they didn't say anything, just kind of let it happen. And then they talk about it on the video,
Set of one of your friends, not even just your friend, any set in general. That's not how you act, regardless of your mental health issues. This is not how you act, okay? And that is why we are not friends, Gabbie. And that is why I don't like you. It's because of what you did to me. You are not a friend. That is not how a friend acts. That's just not my definition of a friend. So my main receipts in this, there are some screenshots, but I think my main receipts are people who were actually there who experienced what her behavior was like. And I don't think
it's just funny how she really tried to, like, expose them as if there wasn't witnesses. It wasn't like this happened at my house. It was literally a whole production set. Does this look fine? Good. It was a whole set. Like, there's a bunch of people there. So
me describing what she was like, or even her words of describing and owning up to what she did, can fully express and convey what it truly was like. Yeah. But I am in the process of figuring out how to get the footage, the raw footage and raw audio, to show you guys what it was actually like on set.
I wonder if he's put it up yet. Hold on. Has he, like, put it up? What's this? Oh, he said goodbye. And then, looking back at his, like, Joy Kersefa's account, it's kind of weird to me because he really only gets like 300 to 500,000 views, and has almost 10 million subscribers. It's really interesting. I don't know. Anyways, keep going.
But until then, this will have to do. And I do want to say a huge thank you to Rosanna for coming forward with her Twitter statement.
Yes. When Rosanna comes in and says something about you, you've messed up. Rosanna Panzino. Do you even know her? Rosanna. Okay, the sweetest, kindest, unproblematic woman on this platform. And she had to be like, oh, nah, man. You, Gabbie Hanna, were the problem. That's when you know you messed up. And that's when you know you need to believe them. You need to believe Daniel and Joey and Rosanna. I have to pause and look that up because wow. When Rosanna, do you know who, like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, she's literally the sweetest person on planet Earth. Like, you just don't, you don't disrespect her like that. This is the tweet by Rosanna. Sorry, let me give you a picture so you'd be like, oh, her, the actual queen. You see her? Can you see her? She did not leave a thing out. Joey and Daniel were extremely patient and accommodating during filming season 3 and 4 of Escape the Night. I personally witnessed them both try to take care of every single cast member more than any other set I've been on in 14 years. They both even paid out of their own pocket to make sure that we had the nicest trailers with everything we requested. So let's talk about that. So yeah, Daniel talked about how YouTube gave them a budget, but the budget wasn't enough. And Daniel and Joey were like, well, these are our friends, so we're going to spend just a little bit extra money to give them the trailer that they want, luxurious trailers, custom robes, specific foods in their fridge. And if you gave them like a suggestion, like Colleen was like, all I want is Coca-Cola, not Coke, Coca-Cola. And so they filled up her fridge with Coca-Cola. But what Gabbie would do is like, oh, I want healthy foods. So healthy means chicken and vegetables or a vegetable platter or some fruits. But they made sure, like if you watch Daniel's video, they made sure that he had a bunch of, that there was a bunch of healthy options as well as unhealthy options. So when Gabbie is like, all they had was sweets and all this stuff, it's like, here's the evidence that there wasn't just sweets. And Daniel has a ton of video that shows that their trailer was full of food. It was extremely, extremely nice. TV, bed to sleep on. If you had to wait, you can go lay on your bed. You can go sleep. You can be on your phone. Like, it wasn't just like a sitting in a dark room for hours on end. And you were getting paid a good amount because you're working for YouTube. Let's keep going. The crew was also very professional, organized, and hardworking. I don't like drama because you're Rosanna Panzino, but Gabbie's video paints an untruthful picture of what happened. Much of it is simply false. Gabbie did not come to the 3 wardrobe fittings before filming. At 2 of my fittings, I was told Gabbie was supposed to be there that day, but she didn't show up. She chose not to go at all. So the wardrobe department did their best to make a costume without being able to see her. I too had some issues with my wardrobe, but I was able to work with the production team to get them resolved at the fittings. Gabbie only showed up to 1 out of 3 of the fittings. And you expect them to just be like, I know what your size is. You expect them to just know your size. So that's why it was uncomfortable. And that's why you were getting those rashes. That's why you were getting those like scars on you, because it was probably too tight and you didn't go to the fitting. So how was it supposed to fit you? Like, nah, let's go to number 2. The entire cast was sent a dietary restriction/request form days before filming. Every single request I made on the form was taken care of by Joey and Daniel. I personally heard Gabbie tell Joey the first day of filming, I didn't fill that out. I hope that's okay, end quote. Keep in mind, meals are ordered before production begins, so everything is ready ahead of time. That is the time to make dietary requests or bring your own food. She's acting like Uber Eats doesn't exist. DoorDash, Grubhub, you're acting like those don't exist. If you didn't like the food that was presented to you on set, go ahead and order something. I know you have your own team. Go ahead and get your assistant to get you food. But you wanted to just complain the entire time and have everything be perfect without you communicating that. You're expecting people to read your mind, but it's like, dude, you didn't communicate that. You didn't say, okay, hey, I need these specific foods. Here's my dietary restrictions. But you didn't fill it out. So how are they supposed to know? They're just going to go with the generic foods. 3, I also personally witnessed Daniel leaving set to go get Gabbie any food she wanted. There was also many healthy options, including a salad bar with protein. Despite all of this, she blamed Joey multiple times for causing her eating disorders to come back. She just wanted to blame anyone. That's the thing. She did not care. What am I trying to say? She did not care actually, like, about the fittings or the foods. She just wanted to be the center of attention because it's Gabbie Hanna. She was threatened by the fact that Rosanna Panzino with 10 million subscribers was on there, or Colleen Baker, or Bollinger, or like Bretman Rock. Like her ego was getting tested, and so she just wanted to be the center of attention at this point. Because if people, let's say, if Daniel Preda, this amazing producer, is going out of his way to go to Whole Foods to get you food, which he has proof of. He has a picture of him getting stuff from Whole Foods, and then you'd end up not even eating it. Like, what are we supposed to say to you, Gabbie? And that's why, that brings me back to, like, with the James Charles, and why everyone keeps receipts when they're talking to you, because of past actions. They want to make sure that they have evidence if something goes wrong, or if something goes awry, and you're like trying to use it against them. They'll be like, no, I have the evidence because of past actions. Same with Gabbie. People now have receipts because of past actions. We're not just going to have a conversation with you and call it a day. No, we're going to make sure to have all of this evidence. So, 4, during the photo shoot press day, long after the show wrapped shooting, Gabbie called one of the female production assistants a dumb C word and walked off set without finishing her shoot. The reason, because the crew member gave her an update shooting time that was 10 minutes different than she was originally told. Okay, I got it wrong. I thought it was 20 minutes. It was 10, which is less. Because the crew member gave an updated shoot time that was 10 minutes different. They were a little bit delayed, so she was like, hey, it's going to be 10 minutes. Is that okay? She wants to call her that. She did end up walking off set because she didn't walk off set, but it was because Daniel had her finish early. Daniel was like, get her done so we can go. Because the last day, the last day when they're doing like press shoots and the confessionals, it's supposed to be a fun day. That's what Daniel said. It's like, it's the last day on set. You're supposed to have a great time. It's supposed to be a time. And Gabbie was like draining everyone. So Daniel was like, get her done. Let's go. After you call somebody that, it's time to go. And then he had a makeup artist fill her in for when they did the promo video, like for Escape the Night, like the trailer. They had a a makeup artist put on Gabbie's outfit and makeup and hair, and had her just stand in the back so it looks like Gabbie. Because they were just kind of like, you're not gonna ruin this, Let's go to the last point here. 5, I also have ADHD, and I am very familiar with the anxiety and stress it can cause. However, that is simply not an excuse to treat people like that and behave in that manner. Yeah, that's just not how ADHD works. You know what I mean? Like, ADHD isn't going to make you say something. You know what I mean? Like, say horrible things to people and treat people horribly. ADHD, it does affect people differently. I need to get checked out, honestly, because I lose my train of thought as I'm literally saying it, So, but it doesn't make me say horrible things about people. ADHD doesn't make you a horrible person. Corvette, you see what I'm saying? It just I don't know why she keeps trying to use ADHD as an excuse to treat people the way that she does. Okay, let's keep going. I don't think Gabbie realized that I could unfortunately hear many of the conversations she was having with Joey in the production, because my part of the trailer shared a paper-thin wall with Joey's. I did my best to avoid my private room for this reason. But from what I did hear, I can say I never experienced someone talk like that. This is just a few of the falsehoods in her video, but I'll stop here. She was the most difficult, mean, and selfish person I've ever experienced on set. Oftentimes, exposing videos are produced in a way to leave out key details. Please keep that in mind when viewing this type of content. That is why you watch both sides of the story. You don't just, you don't just watch one side and be like, okay, whatever. But the thing is, when I was initially watching Gabbie's video, I had some type of understanding. I was like, okay, why didn't they have her foods? Like, I understand that it's a production, but if she has a eating disorder that can be triggered by certain foods, you gotta accommodate that. You gotta have her foods on set, even though, yeah, she's the talent, but like she's also the talent. You gotta have her foods if she's gonna be there for 15 hours a day. So that's why when she was talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, I kind of feel bad. And then she was talking about, oh, I have to wait all this time when they told me to be on set at a certain time. I can relate to that. Like, I'm like, you sit there for hours and hours and it's like, hey, I'm ready. Can I just go, please? Like, can I just go? But then you remember the reason why I felt like that on sets where I'm like, I'm ready. Can I please go? It's because I wasn't getting paid. Like, you're just sitting there not getting paid. But she was sitting there getting paid to do nothing. Let me be on my phone. Let me be on TikTok. Let me sit there and get paid to do nothing. Yeah. Yeah. I'll do that. And she's complaining about sitting there and getting paid to do nothing. And then the food situation was debunked. Daniel went out of his way to go to Whole Foods. You know how expensive Whole Foods is? He went to go get Whole Foods for you. And there was food on set. There was a chef. There was healthy foods. You just wanted to complain. You just wanted to make it a situation. You just wanted it to be something. You know what I mean? And when Rosanna Panzino calls you out, you're done. Sorry, not sorry, you're done. So that's embarrassing. And I hope, and like, the thing is, people are going to see this, like other productions and other producers are going to see this kind of stuff, because before you work with someone, you look them up, you like find out who they are, and this is the stuff that's going to pop up. And no, I don't want to work with Gabbie. Nah. If you're going to be a bad time and you're going to make it where everyone is annoyed with you, where everybody doesn't want to work with you, no. Like, I'm not absolutely, I'm not going to work with you. No. So let me like this. Oops. I'm confused to as if why she blames her ADHD on her repulsive actions when two other people on the show, Ro and Colleen, also have ADHD. Keeping in mind, Colleen had a whole kid on set. I get everyone is different and has different reactions to things, but nothing excuses this. Yeah, she's just complaining.
Allowed to have a hateful opinion, sure, this is fucking America. Freedom of whatever the fuck you want, right? But be prepared for people to call you out on your shit for being shitty. And then
yeah, take your own advice. Haha. I'm just gonna leave this here for Gabbie and her stands before they dare try and come for the sweetest YouTuber ever. Rosanna, I'm gonna say it again, Rosanna Panzino. Y'all, you're done. You're done, man. I mean, if she did call someone a dumb C, then that's something she'll also have to take accountability for. But I'm more confused as to why we're pitting experiences of ADHD against each other when it realistically they shouldn't be compared at all. But you still shouldn't treat people like this. Oh snap, Gabbie. Oh, whatever. Treating people bad due to ADHD is not only an excuse, but also harmful for those who have it, creating a stigma. That's not okay. Her behavior probably has more to do with narcissistic tendencies. It's true, man. It's sad.
What it was like.
Let's keep going in this video.
Kind of debunking some of the things that Gabbie had said in her video. And also the friends who or also on Escape the Night who like that tweet and support. I appreciate you. It means a lot to me because you guys are my biggest receipts that I have to really prove that Gabbie was the one in the wrong in this situation. So I do want to go over some of the key points that she talked about in her video and debunk those with the receipts that I have. Okay, number one, I never once started this. Gabbie thinks that I'm the one who started this. During interviews and stuff, people asked me like what it was like on set or what was season 4 like, and I was honest. I said it was awful because one person in particular was awful and made it awful, but I never once said your name.
Never
Gabbie.
once said your
And
name.
only one out of all 4 seasons, someone like had an issue with dying.
Oh, there was one in season 4 too.
Really?
Yeah, that was season 4 was my least favorite to film by far.
Why?
Just because
Drama.
this one person on the cast who just made it hell.
Really? And how do you stay out of like not talking about drama? You never talk about things. I would call people out left, right, and center.
No, honestly, I could have, and I could have like exposed a lot of receipts, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I don't put out that energy. People were able to figure out who it was based off your past actions.
Yep.
It wasn't hard for people to connect the dots because
You're Gabbie Hanna.
set the standard of who you are online. So that wasn't me. That was you. It also just frustrates me of this whole thing of like, how could my friend do this to me? I mean, I've already expressed this, Gabbie. You can't treat your friends like that and expect them to always just keep things hidden from people or not share my truth of my experience with you just because we were friends.
At one time.
You ended our friendship, and therefore I got to express my frustration and my trauma, and I could have been a lot meaner about it, but I wasn't. I stayed respectful.
I bet that they are keeping a lot of things on the wraps. We're gonna skip a little bit.
So things took a turn on set after day 2 when she refused to come back the next day at her call time. So this is when everything kind of climaxed in her being on set and showing her true colors. It was the end of day 2. It's about 4 a.m. We're all getting out of our clothes and getting ready to go home. And the PA comes to let us all know our call times for tomorrow so we can be ready for our hair and makeup and get day 3 started. So the PA tells Gabbie a time that she has to arrive the next day, and she completely refuses, cusses out the PA and tells him that she refuses to come. So, of course, we reach out to her manager, let him know that, hey, Gabbie is refusing to work.
Refusing to work, breaking contract. It's like so just entitlement. Like you can't. And the thing is, the reason why she was like, no, I'm not going to do it is because she wanted to work out. She had like some appointment with a personal trainer. And that's it. That's the whole story. A production working out with a personal trainer. A production that can give you a platform where you have billboards across America. Personal trainer. Okay.
Under the contract that she signed, and that she needs to show up on set, and her manager was extremely apologetic and was basically saying that he was going to drop her after this. Like, it was extremely unprofessional. Like, he's had so many issues with her. And so she showed up on set the next day, but the director and I met and were like, okay, this is not it. We need to kill her off the show as soon as possible so it can be a peaceful set, because she was causing so much chaos that we just needed to get rid of her. Now, there have been some cases where we do scripted death if someone has a heart out and they can't make it through the whole.
Yeah, that's sad. She was such a horrible time, and she was just giving everyone such a hard time that they killed her off, but like earlier than she was supposed to be killed off. They had a double death in season 4. Everybody was mad about it. All the fans were mad about it because they were like, why would you do a double death? That's cheap. But now we know why. It was because Gabbie was such a bad time that they were like, we got to get her off set as soon as possible. Like, we don't care anymore. Just get her off set. Tana had to go because she had something the next day. She had an event. So they were like, that was already planned. They were like, well, we're gonna kill her off early. That's already planned. Cool. And then Gabbie, they were like, she was supposed to get killed later on, I guess. And they were like, yo, this ain't it. That's just ain't it. Like, opposite, you know. Like, so they killed her off, and that was it. And it's sad. I'm gonna stop the video here because I do want to talk about other stuff, but I don't know if we're going to right now. We're probably gonna do it later. But this is the Drake, Rosefa, and Daniel Preda situation. Please watch Daniel Preda's video because you'll really see all the receipts. You'll see all the receipts and you'll be like, dude, why lie? Or why come out with this stuff? Like, you really thought that you were going to come out with these exposed videos and people weren't going to try to, like, you really thought that people weren't going to, like, try to debunk it or try to be like, no, that didn't happen? That doesn't make any sense. Like, it's just, like, you really thought you could just put these out and people weren't going to see it. But, I mean, people aren't seeing it. You have, like, what, 300,000 views on most of them? Wow, the people that are debunking you have 1 million, 2 million views because people know. People, like, I don't care, dude. Like, people doesn't care. It's sad. And it's sad that you had to get killed off early because you were just such a bad time. And I believe it because you've done it before. You've treated people like this before. We've seen you on Twitter in the last, oh my gosh, what has it been? Like, last 4 or 5 months now, talking trash about every YouTuber imaginable. But yeah, there's also a Jessie Smiles situation, which I'm not going to get into because I don't know the full extent of the situation. I didn't follow that situation when it happened, but Jessie Smiles and Gabbie Hanna also have beef happening, and it's because all I'll say is that Gabbie Hanna did not support her friend in the time of need. Gabbie Hanna did not support her friend in the time of need. So go ahead and watch those videos as well so you can get, like, kind of, you'll see the pattern. And I'm not going to talk about it because, yeah, like I said, I don't know enough about it and I don't want to say something wrong. Because, like, I don't know everything about Escape the Night. I don't know everything that happened. So, you know, I can only give you so much. I can only, like, say so much from the videos. And when it comes to SA, that stuff is, like, triggering and hard to talk about for a lot of people. So, but you go ahead and watch it. I am going to end it here because I got to go watch Loki. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Like, don't even say anything. Don't even say it. Don't even say anything. I'm just really excited. So I'm going to go watch Loki, and I'll probably put a TikTok out talking about it at Leah AA. Thank y'all for joining me. I had fun again. I had to do 2 Men in the Media back to back, guys. Back to back. So I'll see y'all maybe tomorrow. I was gonna put out a skit tonight, but I think I'm gonna put it out tomorrow because I'm already posted something today, right? So I'm gonna post it tomorrow, and then we also have Friday DNA. We're gonna talk about, oh my gosh, DNA. We're gonna talk about Black Widow, Loki, Bad Batch, and then movie news. So y'all have to tune into that one because that one's gonna be an action-packed, full podcast. And then Saturday, you obviously know that's K-pop. So we got a lot of stuff this week, guys. A lot of stuff. All right, make sure to subscribe. See y'all later.